Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. Today is August 13th, 2015. My name is Rex Harris, and as always, it's an honor and a privilege to be able to spend some time with you here this evening. Tonight, in conclusion of night 4 of our mechanics workshops, before we go back to the beginning again, we're going to be talking about the mechanics of blogging. And I'm going to be using the Kalatu blogging platform to share this with you this evening. For those of you that are blogging on WordPress, you'll see that inside Kalatu, much of the functionality is very much like WordPress because Kalatu is built on the WordPress software. So I think that whether you're using Kalatu or WordPress or even just blogging in general, there's going to be a lot of stuff here that you're going to find useful in this video. So with that, let's go ahead and turn on screen sharing and away we will go. All right, so here we are inside the Kalatu blogging platform. And I'm actually in the process of working on a new post here today, which I'm going to open up to kind of walk you through the steps that I've already gone through here. I'm actually doing a blog on end-time biblical prophecy as well, because it kind of gives me the opportunity to work and do what I do at the same time. So, and then we've actually got another video in the works for the fishing blog. So we're making and more stuff in the works for the Academy of Home Business as well. So I'm usually always creating content of some type here. So I want to walk you through just the simple basics of what you want to accomplish here with your blog before you actually start putting the main part of the content together, because there's some mechanics involved with this as well. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to open Google, because usually the way that I set up my blog is I start with keyword research. And in doing the keyword research, first two things that I'm going to do is down here where my tags go, I'm going to build up my tags here, and then I'm also going to put my SEO keywords here in the search engine optimization tool. Okay? Now what I'm looking for are what are called long tail keywords, 4, 5, 6 word key phrases that are being searched in Google and coming up in the search bar here because of the fact that it's something that's being searched consistently. So for example, I'm doing a blog post here on end time Bible prophecy. So one of the things that I will do is I will start with end time Bible prophecy, and I will begin to look for keywords on this based on that root word of 4 there. And you'll see that in doing that, you can see all the different options that came up here for keywords that I could select from. All right, and the reason that these show up here is because these are actually things that people are going to Google in typing in. So there's actual search volume for that specific term. And if you go down to the bottom of the page on many of these, you'll also see searches related to whatever it is that you're searching for. So I will utilize this here and this here to choose my keywords. And I actually see 2 here that I want to add. I want to add this one here, End Time Bible Prophecy Fulfilled. So I'm going to put that in the box, and I'm going to click Add, and then I'm going to go down here, and I'm also going to add that to my SEO keywords. And then I see a Bible Prophecy Fulfilled in Our Time. I like that as well, so I'm going to grab that and use that too. All right, and that gives me 5 key phrases to work with here that I can incorporate into my content and give myself a legitimate shot at getting some traction on the search engines from this once I get some social sharing going on. Okay, what I'm really targeting with this particular post is end time prophecy news on YouTube. And the reason I'm doing this is multifold. A, because it's, you know, what I do, and B, there are just, you know, there's a lot of things out there on YouTube that could lead people astray from their faith, and so I just put together content to just kind of point people, you know, in directions of information I have found that might be helpful to them. So the primary key phrase that I'm going for here is this end time prophecy on YouTube. You'll see I've added that to my permalink here. Okay, inside of WordPress, inside of Kalatu, you're going to have this permalink, and when you click edit, you have the opportunity to change whatever is there to your keyword, and you'll notice that I hyphenated there, but because of that, I want that end time prophecy on YouTube keyword. That's what I chose for my permalink, and you'll see it's also over here in my tags as well as my SEO. Okay, so once I've chosen my keywords, okay, the mechanics of this is very simple. I just simply right-click and paste in the box there and click Add. Okay, I can also use Control-V on my keyboard to paste, and I would do the same thing down here. You just have to make sure that you have a comma space after every instance of the key phrase that you'd like to optimize for there in your SEO keywords. Okay, so every time I do a little bit more work, I'll click Save Draft. All right, and then I always keep a preview open in a tab in my browser next to where I'm working, so I can always see my content as I'm building it. Okay, I like to see it as I go, so I can go back, make cosmetic changes. It's usually easier to read it here than it is here, so a lot of times it's easier to pick up on typos or anything of the like that may be there. Okay. Now let's talk a little bit. This is a little bit more strategical and less technical, but it's going to be important for when you're in here creating your subject lines or your titles for your blogs. All right. You always want to utilize a number in the beginning of your blog post. All right, and you guys have heard me talk about this before, and you'll hear me talk about it again. A number numbers 7 and less in odd format, 1356 or 13579. 6 is not an odd number. Okay, I want to utilize these in most cases for simplicity or ease of use in a number less than 7 to grow big time value in a post. I might even do something like a top 100 things or top 100 resources or top 100 whatever it is that you're giving away. Okay, then you always want a super descriptive adjective. Okay, and then whatever it is that your keyword is here, you know, as far as the content that people might be searching for. And obviously we've got people looking for end time prophecy news on YouTube, as was demonstrated. End time prophecy on YouTube. Okay, so that makes up my subject line. Now, your next line is going to be your introduction. Actually, your next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines is going to be an introduction. I always like to incorporate a video up top as well. All right. In your introduction, one of the things I like to do is I like to bold it and highlight it here in the beginning to kind of give the post a little bit of a punch. All right. So once I've added my text here, just like in Word or in Microsoft Office or in Open Office or in ClickFunnels, when you're doing the text editor in there, you can see here I can change the size of my fonts here. I can change the style. You know, so I like to give something that's going to jump there a little bit to start, and you can see that there, and then boom into the video, and then I get into the post there. I actually, with my introduction, I include a prayer in there about the post, and then I go into this as far as teaching and relating with people primarily relating with people based on growing up believing one thing and now coming to realize that much of what we were taught was false. And so many of us are going back through and re-exploring things again to find that a lot of the stuff that we grew up with in the church was not scripturally accurate. And you're going to probably be hearing more about that, probably even in the news, as time moves on, especially as next month rolls around and the Pope visits the United States in respect to climate change. That's an event that I would certainly keep your eyes on. So I'm focusing on a couple of key things when I'm creating this content here. I'm using you and I when I talk with people to make that connection and relationship with people. Okay? I'm using, you know, a little bit of the story, you know, and yeah, I mean, going outside of the box a little bit with a prayer there, but I mean, if you can't pray with somebody and create a connection with them, then I mean, chances are you're probably not going to make a connection with them. So then I get into just some simple facts about the teaching, a little bit about why I'm doing what I'm doing, and then have gotten this far into the post. But the primary objective here is to share with people these trustworthy end-time prophecy news resources on YouTube. Okay? And the mechanics of this is really very simple. You'll notice I've added a video here. To add a video, it's very easy. All I do is go to Insert and click Insert Video, and then I can actually utilize the link from the video here and add, I can even add an alternative source to the video, you know, tag it if I want to do that, and then put the dimensions in here like this, which is a little bit tedious to me when I can just click embed, paste the code there, and be done with it, and there's my video. Okay, so I highly recommend that you utilize embed for the purposes of your video, and if you don't know how to find the embed code for a video on YouTube, just go to any video, okay, and then under the video, if you click share and embed, you'll find that embed code here. And I have found that these dimensions here, 560 to 315, are a really good fit for the Kalatu blogging platform. So I don't change anything. I just go here and then I grab this, okay, and grab the code, okay, which is just as simple of a swipe of the mouse, left click and hold to copy all of your source code, and then you can do a right click on your mouse and click copy, and then you can go back and paste this, okay, wherever you need to paste it here. If I wanted to add a second video, I could do so right there. Just like that, click OK, boom, video's added here. Okay, so adding video, very simple. Adding images, a little bit different story here, and I will show you that here in a minute. So, and we'll talk more as we go along for people that start using the Kalatu blogging platform with us, more on the content creation and the concepts behind the content creation, how to do the research for your titles and your content and all of that stuff, and put this all together and create content that not only people but the search engines are going to like. Okay, so let's talk about now a couple of other mechanical functions that are going to be important for you as you move forward. The one thing that is going to save you a considerable amount of time is learning how to utilize a block quote. Okay, now what a block quote does is it gives you the opportunity to use content from other sites or other resources and then quote it so you can actually beef up the content in your blog without having to come up with 1,500 to 3,000 words on your own, which is really what people and Google is looking for now. They're looking for big, beefy blogs that are almost, ebook worthy, and maybe in some cases, being ebook worthy. So I took a couple of scripture references in here today that I needed for this post, and made a block quote out of them, and that's really very simple to do. All right, let me see. Let me see where I'm at with this. Okay, so let me see. Now it's probably a good time for me to start actually getting into the list of resources, but I'm going to go ahead and add one more image here. And let me see what I want to utilize here. I just want to use some kind of image down here because I like to kind of stagger the images on the pages as I go, so people aren't looking at great big walls of content all the time. So in this case here, I've got the image there that I wanted. I'm just curious here. Okay. I'll just take an image of the Bible, for example. Let's say I was going to use that. All right. You can actually utilize images through Google for your blog, even your commercial blogs, if you understand which images to use. All right. To find those images, and this is something I actually just learned recently, I click on images, and then I go to search tools, and then usage rights. Okay, and you'll see that I've got 4 basic options here. Well, 5 total options, but the 4 options for use are labeled for reuse with modification. This means anything under that category I can use for whatever I want and modify it however I want. Then I have images that are labeled for reuse, which means I can use the image for whatever I want. You know, commercial, non-commercial, it doesn't matter. I just can't modify it. I have those that are labeled for non-commercial reuse with modification, which means I could use this for charitable blogs or things that are non-for-profit or non-commercial, whatever, and modify them as I want. Or labeled for non-commercial reuse, which means that I could use them but not make any modifications to them. So I'm going to look here and see what I can find that's labeled for reuse that I could utilize with my blog, and scroll through here and see if there's anything that jumps out at me that's fit for this. And you would think that when we are looking for stuff in accordance with the Bible, you wouldn't run across any images that are distasteful, but of course, living in the day that we live in right now, you just never know, so I'll throw that disclaimer out there. But yeah, I'm not really seeing anything there that really fits with what it is that I want to incorporate there, but at least will give you an idea of how to go through and choose images from Google that are free for you to use without getting in trouble for a copyright violation. Okay, so now let's find an image that I can use. I actually did this the other night for an image that I needed, and I do this quite often too, where I will grab a screenshot of something online and then utilize that in the blog. And I've done that. I've done that with all sorts of different things over the year. I did it with a screenshot of the history of Artaxerxes on Google yesterday, for example, for another post that I did. Okay, so let me see. Just give me a minute to see what kind of image that I want to come up there. So here, I think here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to I'm just going to do a simple screenshot.
I was thinking like the war between good and evil, like an image like that.
Yeah, I mean, you could do something along those lines. What I'm kind of trying to do here, though, with this is show people just the whole variety of stuff that's out here right now, and kind of show people how to sort and filter through it. Because quite honestly, there's a lot of stuff out here that's really good, and a lot of it that's just rubbish. So So I will, like in this case, I might just come over here and do like a screenshot of this, okay, and save this as an image,
For whatever
directly save it.
we're only seeing YouTube right now.
What's it? What's that?
For whatever reason, we're only seeing your YouTube right
Only seeing YouTube.
now. Like the screen share stopped.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, might just
All right.
have to restart it.
I only see you, Laura. I don't see Rex's screen right now at all.
All right, I turned it back on. Did that fix it?
Yes.
That fix it? Okay. So basically what I did then is I grabbed using Jing. Let me show you guys that again so you see it. Okay, and Jing is something that you can download for free. Just Google it. I think it's what? Is it Jing or Jeng? Jing.
It's Jing,
Right.
but it's also the TechSmith. If they do the text, when they're searching and they do TechSmith, like the two words together.
Gotcha. Okay. So I just basically grab whatever it is that I want to grab there. All right, and I click capture image, and then I tag this what it is. And obviously I want to optimize my blog for that specific keyword, so it only makes sense then that I would name my images for my keywords or as close as I can. So end time, prophecy, videos on YouTube. It might seem a little bit long, but when it comes to YouTube search, that's actually going to help me. So then I click save, and I save it to wherever it is that I'm working here, which is, oh, I actually have not, I've been doing all of this on the laptop, so I need a new folder here. Oops. Bible blog, double click, and then save the image, okay? So now then, to incorporate an image back into my post, I'm actually going to, I've got quite a bit of text right here, and I want to break this up a little bit, you know. So I'm probably going to come down like, I got an image right there, I got 2 block quotes here, and then I'm going to probably incorporate another image somewhere down in here. Okay, so we'll go right about there. Okay, and this image I'm going to center. So I can actually center my cursor here now, or I can center the image when I add it. So to add the image, I go to Insert, then I go Add Media, and then to Upload Files. And then I can actually access the desktop on my computer, okay, into the Bible blog and grab the image that I want and click Open. Okay, and there it is there. So now the caption is, okay, so in the caption I'm going to say, how do you pick and choose which videos are proclaiming the truth and which ones are not. Grab your Bible and see if what you're hearing matches up with what you are reading. That's pretty simple, don't you think, right? Then my alternate text, I'm actually going to use, I do this a lot, my alternate text will also be my keyword there, but it won't have the hyphens. End time, prophecy, videos on YouTube. Okay? And then the description is just a description of the image. Image depicts a variety of popular end-time Bible prophecy videos on YouTube. Just like that. Okay? And I'm going to choose the alignment center. Okay? then I'm going to have the option to link this image to anything I want to link it to. I can run it to another page or a custom URL or none of the above. And I'm actually not going to link this, so I just choose none. So that won't link anywhere. And then I'm going to drop the full size. Let me see. Full size is 817, which is going to be huge. So I'm going to drop it down to 300 by 182 and insert it into the post and see how it looks. Now it looks a little bit small right there, but you know, anytime that I add something to the blog, I always click Save Draft. Then I go over to my Preview tab and refresh so I can actually see how it's going to look when the blog is all said and done. And that's really pretty small right there. So my two options, I have two options here. Number one, okay, I can go back and I can edit this video, okay, and I can choose the larger size, or if I know the dimensions where it won't look distorted and twisted, I can actually add the custom size there. I'm going to blow it up to full size and click update and just see what happens when I do that. I would imagine it's probably going to blow off the page. And maybe not. It's probably going to, oh yeah, it does. It just like, it takes up a lot of the page. But, you know, it doesn't look horrible bad. It fits. And it's very easy to read. So I think in this case, I'm going to leave it like that. Now I'm actually going to kind of utilize that video for like a second section in the blog, you know, kind of leading into these top 5 trustworthy resources that I've been researching. Okay, so the internet is playing it on all takes part, so you can find it. So okay, so how do, well, let me see, I actually already put that in there. How do you pick and choose which videos are, okay, so the best way to determine who is sharing the truth and who is not is to download the Bible Gateway app on your phone and become friends with Bible Hub online. This way you can cross-reference multiple scriptures quickly and efficiently to expedite research and studies. Okay, so once I've added that, I'm going to click Save Draft. Okay, and then because of the fact that I'm going to make this basically kind of like a second section, I'm going to highlight this here, then I'm going to center it, all right, and then I'm going to go over here to font sizes. I'm going to change that to a 14, okay, and I'm actually going to go back and change that to an Arial black as well to kind of determine a second section. Is the site, I'm going to, in the blog post, I'm going to click Save Draft and then click Refresh. Okay, that's kind of a big headline. So I'm going to actually take that down from a 14 to a 12 and see how that looks. This is a, you know, this is how I do this stuff. You know, I just, you know, tweak it and look at it and see, and that's a little bit more kind of what I was going for there. So obviously the best way to turn, so this way you can cross-reference. Okay, how do you choose? Okay, I think I might like throw the word YouTube in there. YouTube videos are proclaiming the truth and which ones are not. I'm going to bold, how do you pick and choose Okay, and then grab your Bible. Okay, then I'm going to click Save Draft. Refresh. So you'll see now it's gonna pick this up here too. Okay, just driving that point home. All right. So that's how you add and optimize images. And you can, like I said, you can use images in a variety of ways. You can make it a major focal point in your blog post like I did there. You can use them, left justified or right justified on the site to flow with your content. There's all sorts of different cool and creative ways that you can utilize images, all right? And the more value you give people that's on point with the answers that they're searching for, the solutions that they want to specific problems, you can't go wrong in making sure that they get what they're looking for, by giving it to them in such a way that's very easy for them to, connect with and, spend some time with, because it's visually stimulating. I've given them, it's a pretty intense video right out of the gates. It's from a ministry that calls themselves Angel of Apocalypse. Starts off with "There's no calm before the storm," in reference to the second coming of Jesus Christ, and they put together some really interesting news-based videos and stuff like that. But something that's going to grab people's attention. For, I guess, depends on who you are. For some people, it's super exciting. For some people, the thought of what's going on is probably horrifying. But the answer to that is very simple. Just, get things on point in your life. So once I basically have the, introduction, which I have here, and starting getting into, addressing the problems and stuff like that, now I want to start giving people the solution here. So this is where I'm going to start adding what I promised them here as far as these top 5 trustworthy end-time prophecy news resources on YouTube. Okay, so I go to, and I actually have a YouTube account set up for this, and I'm going to be teaching this too, because this is becoming a pretty cool technique. But I've got to open up a new incognito window here to access the other YouTube account. And let me see, this was... Sorry. Oh, there's no the. That's right. Okay. So, and this is something that I recommend all of you guys do too, because I'm also finding that it's a great way to network and connect with people that are interested in the same stuff. I've been getting I'm just getting started with this, and I'm already getting new followers, new interactions from people on Twitter. It's really just, one of those things where you can actually go outside of what everybody else is doing and put something cool together. So in this case, what I'm doing with this channel right now as I set up, I haven't actually done any videos myself here, but you don't have to do videos yourself in order to get traffic from YouTube. All you have to do is just set up a channel that people are looking for information on whatever topic it is that you're covering, because these playlists and these channels are all searchable within search here on YouTube. So what I've done is I've set up some playlists that include world events that line up with Bible Prophecy 2015, false witnesses on YouTube, the truth about false prophet and Antichrist, truth about the 1,000 years in the lake of fire, truth about the rapture, and the truth about the 7 years of tribulation. Okay, and again, like I said, you can do this for anything. It does not matter. It's just basically breaking down and sorting out the information that's a great fit for your audience, so it's easy for them to access, because the more easy it is for them to access and the more value you give them, even if it's not your value. That's one of the things that's really important about this, guys. You can put together
What a
something.
great way to do the content curation.
Oh, absolutely.
That's basically what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great way to make contacts and stuff like that too, as you go through and create playlists with other people's videos on your channel. I mean, there's so many different benefits to doing what it is that I'm doing here, but I'm primarily doing this for the purposes of getting that search traffic to get people to the blog. Okay, that's the overall objective here when I start doing videos for this, is to get people to the blog. Okay, so what I've promised people, let's go back here, is I have promised people 5 trustworthy end-time prophecy news resources on YouTube. Okay? All right? So the first one that I'm going to send them to, and I haven't actually added them to this yet, but there's this guy I've been following. His name is Jason A. And the majority of what he has been sharing as far as news-related items are based on this particular topic have been spot on as far as I have seen, and I would have no problem sharing with people, you know, him as a resource where they can go to get their news and updates on end-time prophecy and things unfolding around the world. So how I've been doing that is I go to his channel, all right, and I just simply grab the URL here for this. I go back to my blog and I create a bullet list. Okay, so time and help you get started, help you and get you connected. Let's say and get you connected with the information that led me to see that things weren't or things were to save some time and get you connected with the information that led me to, or that I'm just going to be real with that opened my eyes to the truth of all of this. I've provided a list of the top 5 end times prophecy news channels on YouTube. Okay, see how I incorporated my key phrase into there again, and now I'm just going to create a bullet list. And to create a bullet list, I go up here and I click the bullet there, and then I type out whatever it is that I want to type here, and I'm going to start with, and I'll just call it what it is, Jason A. I've been, excuse me. Oh man, good. We got all of that on YouTube.
Bless you.
Good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey
Rex, just real quick with what you're doing with the playlist and the YouTube. Can you do Tech training workshop on that some night, just strictly on how to set up the channel and do the videos and stuff? Because I think that'll be a trick that people will definitely want to learn how to do.
That's actually already inside the academy under Winning with People on Autopilot. Yep. Already
okay, cool. All right, great, awesome.
So so I'll just say, I've been following Jason A for quite a while now, and have not seen anything that would lead me to believe that people are being led astray by the items he shares. That being said, as we are taught from the Bible, test all spirits and see for yourself. Okay, so there's one example. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight over the title there. I'm going to go to link, okay, and then click here for End Time Prophecy News on YouTube. Okay, one more way for me to sneak that in, and then I'm gonna all of these I'm gonna have open in a new window. I don't want people leaving my blog in this case, so I'm going to have that open in a new window. So that way my blog stays open, and then when they click on that, it's going to open that blog window, or open that in a new tab. So they'd actually be bouncing back and forth between two tabs. Okay, so now when I do see, and I don't know why I haven't to this yet, I just haven't gotten over to his channel yet, but, oh, that's actually the wrong account. It doesn't matter. Let me go back here, because this is the one where I'm organizing, so I can show you this here. We'll go back to Jason A here. So in the process of doing this, let's say I do go to a channel and I find, yeah, you know, I really, you know, I like what's here. I click subscribe, all right, and then, like in this case here, he's got July 2015 events happening around the world, okay, and I already have a playlist set up, so if I find a video that I want to add to one of my playlists, I just go to world events that line up with End Time Prophecy here, and now that's added to my playlist here. So if I go back to my channel here and go to playlists, you'll see where all of those videos are now available for people to watch right here through my channel. And I didn't have to make any of those videos. All I have to do is be the person that points people in the right direction. Okay? That's all I'm really working to do, is build up the popularity of this channel right now, and I'll begin to incorporate my own videos into it as well. Okay? So the next thing I'm going to do here, I've got 4 videos already here, and this one was by a guy named Brian D. So again, I would just click on his YouTube channel here, and then so, and then let me see, what was he? Brian D. There we go. Brian D. Hey, I just subscribed to this channel on 8/12/2015, and so far have not seen, and so far so good. His information lines up with Scripture, and I know and I believe that he's keeping his ministry on point. Okay, so then same thing here. Create the link. Click here to watch Brian D's latest. And I'm just going to say prophecy videos on YouTube. You know, I didn't use it exactly the same way there again, but, you know, I'm squeezing it in. I've got 728 words of content here on something that I'm working on getting to about 1,500 in. All right. So, but that's basically how I do this. You know, I deliver on the promise there. All right. And I'll come back and finish that up later because I want to get through all of the components of the actual post here. Okay. So in review, we've got our title. All right. We've got our introduction where I connect with the reader. Remember the you and I type stuff. You know, if you're anything like me, you know, or chance, you know, you may be reading this blog right now and you're just like me, you grew up in the church, and a lot of what you were taught in the church didn't line up with what you're reading in the Bible. You know, does that sound familiar? Yeah, that's why I'm on your blog. Okay, well, you're on my blog because you're the exact person that I'm targeting. But, you know, and that's where I want to make that connection here again. And then once I get through the introduction and I'm getting into the body of the blog, I want to address the problem, okay, and then start sharing with people the solutions. Once I get through the solutions section of the blog, I'm going to start getting into the conclusion. And basically the conclusion of the blog is my opportunity to, quote unquote, sell the people who are skimming my blog on going back and taking a closer look. Okay, so by taking the time to research these topics on your own, okay, and by watching the video, the video on this page, you will find that your eyes will open to the truth about what the Bible teaches, okay, bringing you closer in your walk with God every day, okay? Simple conclusion, okay? Whatever this is, like I said, I want to build this up to the point where those people that were just coming through and skimming read this and they'll go be, oh man, maybe I better go back and watch that video again. You see what I'm saying? You know, I mean, I can do it here on a blog like this. I can do it on a marketing blog to get people to back to a call to action. It doesn't, you know, really matter. You know, the same basic structure for any quality blog is, you know, going to fit for most of the things that you can blog about here. I mean, I'm blogging about biblical prophecy here. You know, you can blog about whatever you want, all right? Just blog every day or as often as you possibly can. All right, so the next step then is creating your actual conclusion, and your conclusion is going to basically be a call to action for people to participate in the comments, all right, at the bottom of your blog. Okay, so the easiest way to do this is to do it with a question. Which news and prophetic resources have you found on YouTube that line up with a literal translation of the scriptures? Okay, feel free to share them in the comments below. I want people to participate here because that's going to help me get more traffic from Google and more traffic in the social media. And in my conclusion line, I'm always going to highlight it, okay, I'm going to center it, and I'm going to italicize it. And I always make it a little bit bigger than the rest of the text as well. Okay? I really want people to see that at the bottom of the page. So now I'm going to click Save Draft. All right, and then I'm going to go back here. And you'll see there I've got my closing, my conclusion. You know, granted, I do have more to do on this, but we've only got so much time here this evening, and I wanted to show you guys this so you could see it and go back and start implementing this on your own. It's not my objective with these workshops to take up a bunch of your time. It's to show you the mechanics of this stuff so you can actually go back and implement some of it and ask questions if you have questions in our groups on Facebook. Okay? So that's the basic mechanical function here of this particular blogging platform known as Kalatu, which you can see is very similar to WordPress. Okay? For those of you that are using this for marketing, okay, you have the opportunity to run pop-unders that have been made available for you through Empower Network when they're activated. You can actually choose the call to action based on whichever marketing system you're using inside of Empower Network as well. Okay? Next thing I want to talk to you about here before we wrap this up is your SEO title. I always make my SEO title the same as the title of my blog. Okay? There may be times where that differs, but they're going to be virtually the same, maybe just the different words in a different order or something like that. And then my SEO description, sometimes I will pick something out of the actual post and use it, or I will write something fresh. In this case, let me see, have you been, so, again, engagement, have you been watching end time prophecy videos on YouTube, but you're finding that they are leading to more questions than answers? Okay. In this post, I share with you directly the top 5 news resources we've been following and tested to be in alignment with the Word of God and ... my SEO description, just like that. All right, it gets my keyword incorporated into there in all 3 regards. Okay, I have the option here to do a blog post excerpt that shows up on the home page in category pages, but because of the fact that I've been using featured images, I really don't want both, so I just choose featured images. It's kind of an either or there, but featured images you'll just find is easier. Okay, then you have your Facebook sharing settings down here, and this is exactly what your post is going to look like on Facebook once the way that you have this set up here. And let me give you an example of a post I made today, and many of you have seen this with other blog posts that we have done. But here's a blog post I added to a group on Facebook today. All right, right here. And you can see it pulled up the image that I wanted here. 5 popular biblical teachings manipulated to deceive Christians in the last days. That's what I'm crafting right here when I'm working right here. So again, really simple copy and paste. I need a good description. Well, I've already got one there. Okay. Now the only other thing I need to do is upload an image, which I can choose from, the image that I used here, or in this case, I like that one a little bit better. So I'll choose that image to go there. And then I'm also going to set that as the featured image for my blog. I just select it and then click Set Featured Image. And just like that, now when I go back to the main page of my blog, you'll see how that looks on the main page of the blog. With the first post, there's my image, there's my title, and there's a brief excerpt from that particular blog on my main page. Okay? So these are the basic mechanics of Kalatu that are going to help you get started actually publishing content on the internet. Okay? You'll notice here I've chosen a very simple blogging platform. No bells, no whistles, nothing funky. It's just all about good quality content, a little bit of branding there, and here I'll have an ebook available here too, probably in a couple of weeks. Okay? And you guys are going to see this for every blog that we develop from here on out. Doesn't matter which audience we're targeting, the process is going to be the same. because it works across the board for pretty much any topic that you could possibly think of. So with that, we'll go ahead and turn off screen sharing here and reach out and see, does anybody have any questions about anything we talked about tonight? Let me go over here and see if there's any questions on the main Hangout page.
I think I got most of them, Rex.
Okay. The one thing I want to show, the one thing I didn't show that I wanted to show real quick, adding block quote content. All right. So I want to add a piece of content here, so I could go back here, and then let me see.
You have to turn screen share back on.
Oh yeah, helpful.
That's okay.
All right, let me turn that back on real quick, because I did want to show people that. Okay. So let me see. I just got to go back to Google here somewhere. Oh, I'm thinking of a scripture reference here about people that will be deceived. You see, for this reason, actually, that's, yeah, let me go here. That'll give me the, because that way I can look at the whole thing. Okay. And then looking for 11 and 12 here. So if I was going to use a block quote from here, that's not even close to what I was looking for. That makes sense. Okay. So here's what I would do. If I wanted to use a reference from this, and this works with any content that I want to curate online. All right. So I grab this, then I go back to my blog. Okay. And then wherever it is that I want to paste this, okay, and I'm actually going to put this one right here just above where I get into the videos. So I've got a little bit more of a break right here. All right. I'm going to paste the content that I want to use here. I'm going to highlight it. Then I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click this block quote right there. And then I'm actually going to make that a little bit bigger, a font size like that. And I actually did these up here in the Arial font. So I'm actually going to do this in the Arial font as well. Click Save Draft. And then refresh. And you'll see where my block quote is there. Okay? But you can just find cool, different, fun ways to incorporate different things into your blog to give people, you know, something real that they can utilize. I mean, you know, people that are students of the Bible and stuff like that, you know, they want to see some good, real stuff, so that's what I'm providing for them. It's just exceptional value, and as I pour the goodwill on through this website, then we'll start doing calls to action for building a list and all of that good stuff, okay? It works for everything, guys. All you've got to do is implement it and use it, okay? And it looks like we got pretty much all of our questions covered over here. Okay, anybody here got any questions that I can ask before we wrap this up? Nobody's got any questions? All right, well, if nobody's got any questions...
Not I said the fly.
Not I said the fly, she says. So, I don't know what that means. But anyway, you guys have a great night, and God bless you. And we will see you again next Tuesday actually next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for our new Monday night mindset and coaching with Jocelyn Jones, which is going to be exciting. You guys are going to get to hear all about her getting connected with some of the most respected people in our workspace, including Dave Van Hoos and more, what she's learning through Speaking Empire and where things are headed for that. So that will be available next Monday night. So starting next week, Monday and Tuesday nights, we'll have Monday night mindset and Tuesday night technical and mechanical. So with that, you guys, again, have a great evening, and we will talk to you soon. Bye for now.